keep the kids out of school right now, I would honestly say burn the entire school system down. And if you go to school, to college, you graduate and your job doesn't exist anymore, you don't get your money back from college. So that schooling and education are completely different things. All right. Hello, everybody. Nice to meet our newcomers. I'm really excited to be here today and that everybody has joined. My name is Megan, and what I stand for is education. I stand for a completely new idea of education. I strongly believe that schooling and education are completely different things, and one of my goals in life is to make that distinction very clear for the masses of people. So that is me. Our current education system is not optimized, is not serving society as it should be. First thing I want to say is that I don't believe the needs a school to be educated. And the direct example I would give to this would be Benjamin Franklin's autobiography right here, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson. Most of the founders of the United States of America came from backgrounds where they had little to no schooling at all. Even the father of American education, Horace Mann, he received less than 6 weeks of schooling every year. So this entire concept that school is necessary to become educated in itself is far from the truth. A little background, forced government schooling was brought to America from the police state of Prussia, which is now modern day Germany. And that system, the entire ideals, was founded on the basis of, this is a direct quote, enslaving the public mind. And that's a quote from Horace Mann, the father of American education's writings. So that same system was adapted in 1852, and then by 1900, every single child in America was in these public schools by law. The U.S. Commissioner of Education at the time, William T. Harris, wrote that education scientifically defined is the subsumption of the individual. And I want to bring attention to one document that I really, really recommend everybody in here read, because it doesn't just discuss education, it discusses plans for entire world domination, published in 1916. It's called The Country School of Tomorrow. And the gentleman who wrote this, his name is Frederick Taylor Gates. He was John D. Rockefeller's business advisor, of course. But one thing that he mentions in here is that they shall take the child from the hand of God and seize the restless activities of his body and mind. So clearly, the intentions for schooling were not pure, and we see that in our society, and we're left with what is the solution? And as I said in the beginning, I don't believe we need schools. From personal experience, I graduated early so I could self-educate because I realized that I was wasting my time. There's no class on making money. There's no class on personal development, people skills, all essential skills that we would use in life. In the past year self-educating, I've learned more in my entire life. And that's why it pains me, is because I remember sitting in my own high school classrooms and I saw so many young adults, soon to be young adults, with passions and with so much potential. And it broke my heart to see them in an institution that was built to enslave their minds. So they would go on to live a life in this 9-to-5 workforce, they get a degree to be successful in what they want to do. And that's not true. In fact, deschooling myself this year has gotten me farther in life than it would have had I been standing here. It enabled me to move out and to start a business all at a young age. And I owe that to education. Where the word education comes from, by chance? Anybody? No? Okay. Cynthia does. It stems from a Latin term, which is educar. And that Latin term is draw forth from within. So therefore, any form of education that doesn't have to do with self-knowledge has nothing to do with education. Yeah.
I just want to point out the irony that the reason Cynthia knows that is because you have educated her about it, and myself.
Okay, too. So Cesare knows it as well. But yes, what it's about. It's about taking your gifts and your passions and bringing forth those and building your life off of it. That's what men like Benjamin Franklin did. And our school system has taken us so far away. In fact, it was designed intentionally to take you as far away from yourself as possible. And the solution that I have for that is customized education. So think about it. This Starbucks cup, for example, is customized. Our phones are customized. You can customize clothes, practically everything. So why can we not customize education? We have the technology for that. I mean, we're operating on a school system that was built or brought to America, at least in the 1800s, and we are in 2020. So with customized education, what would happen is students would take some of the most scientifically proven personality tests in the world. And the point of those tests would be to determine how do they learn best. And then we'll find their interest, their learning style. What kinds of things do they really enjoy learning about? And a curriculum will be built off of that. If you want to learn a specific skill, there's YouTube, there's Google, there are books. What do you do for people who aren't motivated to go learn on their own? You can still provide them with the same self-educational tools by providing that system for them. Getting them connected with the right YouTubers that would fit their learning style, getting them connected with people in their kids of all different ages can learn from each other. There's no reason why a child who is 8 years old can't learn from a 16-year-old, and why a 16-year-old can't learn from an 8-year-old. And I will also add to that, there will be some classes highly encouraged, such as financial education. I think we should completely turn around what we're doing. Keep the kids out of school right now. I would honestly say burn the entire school system down. Provide kids with a basic education. The 3 R's are important, but give them an incentive. And then as they start to develop their own specialized interests, let them branch out. So teach them the basic reading, the writing, the math, the people skills that we all use, basic financial skills, life skills. And then as they get a little bit older, if they really show interest, then they can go down a biology major. But there's no reason why biology should be a mandatory class in high school right now for thousands of ninth graders across the country that have no interest in it. And as I end, one thing I want you to keep in mind is incentive. What we have right now in our schools is we tell kids, well, yeah, work hard now, do all the work you don't want to do. And then one day you're going to graduate, you're going to go to college. And then one day you'll have a good job and you'll have a great family and more money. First of all, there's no guarantee for that. If you go to school, to college, you graduate and your job doesn't exist anymore, you don't get your money back from college. So where's the incentive? When we talk about a new system, there has to be incentive. And the only way we're going to get incentive is if we let kids have a say. We are just guides in their own educational experience.